This is Riven Redemption, a new series where we take a look at some of our lower tiered weapons in Warframe and see if, with the addition of a Riven mod, they can become redeemed in your eyes or brought up into line with some of the higher tiered weapons in Warframe. Basically, if the so-called shit weapons can become great or just mildly good. If they can become weapons that you might bring with you on a sortie mission or an endless farming run. In this episode, it's the Tiberon we're looking at, which is a weapon that has a pretty loyal fan base, so I'm not going to call it shit in case people get triggered. Actually, the Tiberon was always a pretty decent weapon to run with, and one that a lot of players would love to see eventually primed. The Tiberon is seen as a slightly weaker version, dare I say, of the Cerberus due to the fact that it has a really bad crit and status chance. It's got a crit chance of 5% and a status chance of only 2.5%, which is el terrible. No, sorry. No. It's also a burst rifle, which some players don't really like using due to the sporadic nature of mobs in Warframe and how their movement can be a little bit crazy at the best of times. Now, the Tiberon deals 60 base damage. Most of this is puncture damage, and it fires in 3 round bursts and has a 30 round magazine, so you have 10 shots with each magazine, more than enough to pop several melons. And the Riven mod that I'm going to be running with on my Tiberon after several rolls is a Mastery Rank 12 one that gives me plus 215% puncture and plus 254% overall damage. But it also gives me a negative crit chance of 107%, which is bad on most weapons but is okay on the Tiberon considering that it only has a 5% crit chance anyway, so this mod brings you down to 0% chance at critting, so you're not going to be really building for crit anyway with the Tiberon, you're going to be building for pure damage. Status and crit suck on the Tiberon that you just don't build for them. Also, with regards to this mod and the Riven system in general, why the feck is there negative stats in there at all? Why do DE always have to add a negative to something that they add into the game? Whether it's buffs, reworks, new systems, they all come with some kind of a negative aspect. It's kind of crazy, but it would be really nice to be able to just reroll that one stat on a Riven mod and lock the others in so as to get rid of those minus stats that we roll on mods. Now, however, the positive stats on this Riven mod ramped up the damage on my Tiberon by a feck ton. That's Paddy's favourite measurement, remember? Spooderman all up the wall. And I've tried it in combination with and without heavy caliber, and I'm leaning more towards keeping heavy caliber in my build as the accuracy penalty isn't really that bad and your damage output more than makes up for it. I can sense some Tiberon users may be getting triggered already. Heavy caliber on a Tiberon? The fuck is this guy doing? Calm down, ladies. It's all good. It's all good. So I've been using this Riven mod on my Tiberon for the last few days and it's definitely changed the way that I look at this weapon. The build I'm using is a 6-former setup that revolves around just pure damage, simple as that. So I've got my Riven mod, I've got Serration, I've got Split Chamber, I've got Heavy Caliber, I've got Piercing Caliber, I've got Shred, and of course I've got my Elemental mods. Piercing Caliber is probably up to the user, but since my Riven mod boosted Puncture as well, I thought sure why the feck not. Now, will Riven mods save all of our weaker weapons? Hell no, I've seen some incredibly good stats on Riven mods for weapons like the Pantera or the Mitre, but even with that Riven mod, the weapon is still pretty damn average. Does a good Riven mod change the Tiberon? I think it does if you can get your hands on one, and remember that each one will be different with different stats than what I have on mine, so happy hunting, Tenno. Now let me know what you guys think of this series or what weapon you would like me to showcase next. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.